18 years old, gone too soon. Mississippi, y'all got some explaining to do. Mississippi, need to release that report. Low down, dirty ass Mississippi. What you hiding? Why you not talking? Why the hell you not saying a damn thing? Talk. I pray the family get real answers. And no, we the people won't go away. Never, hell no, not today. Mississippi, the Most High gonna really deal with you. July 4th lights, boat ride with the crew. Young King Nolan chasing dreams, Ocean Springs through and through. Horn Island called his name, he relaxing in the blue. 2 days later found on the sand. What happened to you? Independent autopsy dropped, but it's undetermined. Red mark on the back of the head, neck structures missing. Absurd. State sitting quiet, toxicology on the shelf. Family screaming for truth, but y'all protecting yourself. Nolan was a star athlete with a future bright. Now his mama crying every single night. Boating trip turned nightmare. Questions in the air. Who was on that island? Why the silence there? Mississippi, need to release that report. Low down, dirty ass Mississippi. What you hide? Why you not talking? Why the hell you not saying a damn thing? Talk. I pray the family get real answers. And no, we the people won't go away. Never, hell no, not today. Mississippi, the Most High gonna really deal with you. Grand jury waiting, but the people still fighting. No severe trauma, they say, but the story don't add up clean. Waves whispering secrets, covering up the scheme. Young black man gone, another one in the South. History repeating, time to open your mouth. What you hiding in them files? Why the delay? Transparency dying, why the family pray? Nolan's light was shining, future snatched away. Now the whole world watching what Mississippi say. We marching, we posting, we demanding justice loud for every mother losing sons behind that murky cloud.
I pray the family get real answers.
No more games, no more lies.
No more games, no more lies.
Nolan deserved better, the truth never dies. From the island to the courtroom, we standing tall. Mississippi,
Your reckoning,
gon' come.
one and all.
Finding all. Mississippi, need to release that report. Release it now, release it now, release it now. Need to release that report. Mississippi, what you hiding? Why you not talking? Why the hell you not saying a damn thing? I pray the family get real answers. No, we the people won't go away. Never, hell no, not today, not today. Mississippi, Most High, gonna really deal with you. For Nolan Wells, we won't go away. Release the report. Justice now.
Right, hello everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Shakur show. I'm your host, Queen Shakur, and this is your daily vitamin. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. All right, so with that all being said, let's get into it and let's hope that we don't have any issues because it has been storming over here. That's why I'm on so late. I would have been on 2 hours ago, but it was storming, and you all know on the side of town that I live on, the lights flicker and all of that stuff, internet issues. So hopefully we won't have any. I had some very interesting things I wanted to talk to you all about, but I'm going to have to save that for tomorrow. So we'll talk about these things tonight. Now, with that all being said, let's see who's in here. All right, Dark Tube Truth Brown, V Maltsby, excuse me, Pearly, DJ the Truth TV. Irma is here. All right, let's get it popping. Okay, Hadassah is in the virtual building. Pearly, Deronda. All right, Infinite Vibes. Let's get into it. 57 Beige Fox. Okay, Pretty Wings. Desmond, Reggie. All right, Paul Parody. I see you, beloved. Andrea. So shout out to all of my loyal royals and everyone tuned into the Queen, and a big shout out to my moderators because y'all know they be putting in work. So before we get started, as per usual, hey, Lieutenant Muxwa, before we get started, let's have a brief word from my sponsor at 12 Tribes. Here we go.
Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
All right, so don't forget you can purchase 12 Tribes hair oil at Etsy.com. Just look for Lisa Crafts. You can also find her amazing products at Walmart.com. Okay, and don't forget that she also sells beard oil. With that all being said, let's get ready to get into it. All right, let's get ready to get into it. All right, hello, Michael. Ancient African King is here. All right, I love that name. All right. Irma, why are you talking about ops? Okay, so let's get into it. Listen, in the midst of all these nefarious things going on, they really want us to think that nothing happened to Nolan other than an accidental drowning. I want you all to pay attention. Okay, I want you all to pay attention, but hold on, let me show you all something. There is a concerted effort to silence people that are speaking out about Nolan. I want you all to pay attention because I told you all earlier how people on TikTok are saying their videos are being taken down. Two of my videos have been taken down, and I showed you one of them, and like really, there's nothing wrong with them. There was no problem with them on other platforms, but TikTok has a concerted effort to take us down. Now, today I posted a video like 4 hours ago, and that video literally had like 45 views. And then when I looked, they told me that hold on, I'll just let you see what they told me because they said the same thing to this other young lady who I show you all her videos all the time. And her name is Megan, something Megan. But anyway, she said the same thing. I'll show you the video. Look at this. Hold on, I'm going to share my screen. Lights up, everyone, please like and share. They are really pressed. And you know what that tells me? That tells me that we're on to something. Okay, please pay attention. Look at that. Your video is not eligible for recommendation in the For You feed. If you disagree with the content restriction, you can appeal. Sit down somewhere. I'm not appealing jack. Because first of all, the video that I had taken down yesterday, I appealed it and they did put it back up. But what's the point? Because that video is old news now. Because there was the video about Nolan's mom being under investigation. And then today we found out that she's no longer under investigation. So what was the point, right? I just wanted them to remove the guideline strike, though. So that all being said, this is what they're doing. Okay, this is what they're doing to many people. And I find it all egregious. Now, and also, let me show you the video that they said is not eligible. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. And mind you, hold on, where is it? This was the video about hold on. I'm sorry, I'm reading something. Okay, anyway, this was the video about Trump's attorney. Okay, and I made a mistake this morning too, so let me correct myself. Earlier this morning, when I was talking about the boys hiring Trump's attorney, and I said I should have known it would be a criminal defense attorney. Well, they did hire a criminal defense attorney, but Trump's former attorney that they hired is the one that's the prominent defamation attorney. Okay, so please pay attention. Now, also, I heard that they have been out to Horn Island looking for clues, trying to figure out what happened. But I thought nothing happened. I thought it was an accident. Now they're out there looking for clues. We're going to get into all of it. Please pay attention. Shakur. And so TMZ reported that Nolan's friends, I prefer to call them frenemies, but anyway, they have hired Trump's former attorney. So let's get into it. This is their Mississippi-based attorney, and his name is J. Tyler Cox. So this attorney reached out to a very prominent defamation attorney by the name of Edward Andrew Poltzik, and this is the one that used to work for Trump. Okay, please pay attention. What I thought was interesting was the fact that TMZ, when they reported this story, they talked about Trump's former attorney and how this was about defamation, and they're supposed to be suing people and all of this for the nefarious allegations that they claim many of us have made. But here's the thing: what they didn't say is this other attorney, J. Tyler Cox, well, his specialty is criminal defense. Okay, please pay attention. I just find it interesting how TMZ chose to gloss over that. Why would they need a defense counsel? I have several questions. Please pay attention. So as you can see right there, J. Tyler Cox is a criminal defense and general practice attorney. So I looked him up. That's how I found that information out. TMZ didn't bother to mention it. And I thought it was very interesting that they just glossed over that part, because I was wondering if he's reaching out to another attorney who's going to be talking about defamation. Well, what is he up to? Because clearly he's not one who specializes in defamation. So I wanted to know what he specialized in. And here we have it, a criminal defense attorney. I find it all very interesting. Please pay attention. Also, what's going on this app? Because it seems like many of us who are reporting on Nolan's story, it keeps strangely getting community guideline strikes. And then there's never an explanation as to why they're being given. Now, I put up a video yesterday talking about Nolan's mother and how people were attacking her and she was under a whole investigation. And then that video was taken down. Now, I appealed it and they put it back up. But it's old news now because we already have found out that she's been vindicated, just like I knew she would. They knew it was all cap from the beginning. They knew it was nothing but a load of BS. Okay. But at the end of the day, the same people that are reporting her with these fake complaints and all of that, trying to make her lose her job and everything, trying to even make her lose her license. But at the end of the day, I just absolutely feel that those people are the same people that say, let's not make this about race. Okay. Please pay attention. Everyone, I'm Dr. Yeah, TMZ conveniently left that part of the information out. That's why we need to cancel them for once and for all. Okay. And another thing that I was thinking about today is this. Okay. So they're making all of these arrests about people being threatened. And as I said, they haven't made one arrest in the people that are threatening the Wansleys. But also, I thought about Carmelo Anthony. Remember how Carmelo's parents were getting these death threats and all of that? They were going up to the father's job to the point that he had to leave his job, going up there pretending they're going to buy cars. And then at the last minute, after they gotten approved, said, oh, we can't buy a car from you because your finance manager is the father of a murderer. Remember all of that? And all of the death threats to the point that they had to move. They had to uproot themselves and go and move somewhere else. And then the devils lied and said that they took the money that we donated to them and bought a fancy house. But the fact of the matter is they had to move and no one was arrested. They didn't even investigate any of that. Now I want you all to pay attention. This is what the devils do. Okay, they're more concerned about these fraudulent threats. Okay, yeah, that's right. I said fraudulent. At the end of the day, these people are going to do anything as far as I'm concerned. The person who was talking about a bomb, you really think they were going to do anything? How is somebody going to blow you up with a bomb? But they're sitting there literally telling you, now this is my opinion, if they're sitting there telling you where they're going to send it, what time it's going to come, and that you only have 10 seconds or so to get out of there. Okay, common sense would say that if you're giving the person all of that information, of course they're going to call the police. I think it was a scare tactic, if anything. But the bottom line is they don't care about the other people getting threats. Only their own people. Okay, they don't care about these black people being harassed and all of this after all they have done is try to get justice for their son. And look at how they attack these people. They not only make these threats, but they tried to take away their livelihood, calling their jobs, posting fake reviews. They did the same thing. This is what these devils do. That's why every time you see any of them online saying something they have no business saying, make sure if you find out where they work, you usually can get Jolly Good Ginger or a Tizzy ENT. Yeah, those two are really good at finding out where these people work. Okay, so they can get fired because they want to go after black people's jobs for grieving. Okay, that is so crazy. Now let's talk about this woman that was found hung. Now they're now saying, just like I told you all, I said they're just trying to make it look good. When I told you days ago, they're trying to make it look good by saying, oh, we're investigating it. Yeah, that's just what they said because we know they never investigated. They immediately tell us what it is. And just like in true Mississippi fashion, now they said that it was self-deletion, just like we knew they would. Okay, please pay attention. Now let's go to the video of where they have identified this young woman. Likes up, everyone, please. Like and share. Thank you in advance. Now, this is the video of the neighbors talking about it. Then we'll go to the other report next. Here we go. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. It is so much going on in this country, and it just gets worse and worse as the days go by.
Troy and Megan, neighbors told me that they were just shocked when they learned that a woman was hung from a tree in a backyard at a vacant home. They say that this is just heartbreaking. Here in this neighborhood, you know, a woman's body was found. What was your reaction to that?
It was heartbreaking. One, because they said she was found in a backyard, not alive. And God didn't put us here to be done that way.
Violet Wilson says learning the woman was found hung from a tree made the discovery even more disturbing.
It's unnatural in this lifetime. You don't see things like that.
Darren Johnson says this has shaken a neighborhood he considered safe.
It's quiet, older people over here, so we don't normally have that. So just to hear that happen, it kind of got us shook, basically the whole neighborhood shook, because we never have that problem.
Now, he says some neighbors are questioning whether they should stay.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Hold on, let me address this troll. Let me address the troll, because the troll clearly wants the queen's attention, so let me give it to you for a second. Now, Saw 1191 says the lies you weave are more complex than weave atop your head. Oh, really? What lies am I weaving, honey? It's on the news. And also, I don't have weave, honey. This is my hair, okay? It's called locks, all right? Anyway, that's all being said. I don't know why these trolls be trying it. Do they think that I care anything about what they say or think? Because I don't. You see, the good news is we're not obsessed with them the way they are with us. I mean, you would never catch me in any of their chats, leaving comments on their pages. You just wouldn't see it. Okay? And I'm sure most of you would do the same, right? But these devils, they want our attention so much, coming in here just saying crazy things. Okay? Are you mad about my long locks? I'm sure you are. You wish you had hair like this, hair that grew and went in the direction of the sun. I know. I absolutely know. Yeah, that makes you mad. That bothers you. Did somebody block them? Okay, because I was going to say, let me do it, honey. Give me the pleasure. Now let's continue. These poor, sad, pathetic MAGA minions, i.e. Confederates, but let's
Kind of
continue.
had me in a whole nother stage where, like, man, should we still stay here or should we leave?
Jackson police say officers responded to 500 block of Road of Remembrance around 7:30 Monday night. The woman was found hanging from a tree in the backyard of a vacant home. Witnesses say a Jackson Fire Department ladder truck was used to get her down.
But just to hear about that, like I say, it got everybody skeptical, everybody questioning each other, don't nobody know what's what.
And the Hinds County coroner says that is still unknown right now, the cause of death. And also they're not releasing as of right now the identity of the woman, but it is confirmed that the woman's body was sent to the state medical examiner's office. We're live outside of JPD. I'm Nicholas Brooks, 16 WAPT News.
You know something? Hold on. Let me just do something. I'm going to let you all watch this next video. Now, this is where they identify the victim, sadly. Prayers and condolences to her family. But let me find something for the troll while you all watch this. I got something for him real quick.
A woman found hanging from a tree behind a Jackson house has been identified, and that case is raising new questions tonight.
That's right. A city councilman says that federal authorities need to step in. 16 WAPT's Ross Adams explains what he wants and why he says the community can't wait.
Councilman Kenneth Stokes says he just sent a letter to the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of Mississippi asking for the agency to help in any way it can after a young woman was found hanging from a tree in an abandoned home in West Jackson.
Anything that they can provide to get this hanging case solved quickly. We need to have someone in handcuffs as soon as yesterday.
Hinds County coroner identified the woman as 29-year-old Tasia Fortune. Investigators say Fortune's body had been hanging in the tree for 3 to 4 days before someone found it Monday night at the house on Road of Remembrance. Stokes' letter to the U.S. attorney asked for help finding a suspect and a motive for the killing.
Everywhere you go, they talking about that hanging. I don't care where you go, to the grocery store, to get something to eat, people talking about that hanging.
The Jackson Police Department has said little about the case in the past 4 days. Other than a late Monday night social media post, JPD has been so tight-lipped, they haven't even sent out a press release.
Once upon a time, a press release would have come out quickly because of the sensitive nature of hangings in Mississippi.
Alrighty, let's talk about it.
In a Thursday interview with 16 WAPT, Police Chief Rochelle Brackney refused to answer any questions about the hanging investigation.
Councilman Stokes says even if there's no racial element to this hanging, he says given Mississippi's history of lynchings, public officials all across the city need to step up and say this is unacceptable behavior. Reporting from Jackson, Ross Adams, 16 WAPT News.
A JPD spokesperson says the case remains an active investigation.
Please. So now it's an active investigation. I'll believe that. Okay, when pigs fly. Now, here's for the troll. See, the troll is obsessed with us, okay? These people that come here trolling, they're always obsessed. These MAGA minions. But I find it interesting that this troll is also talking about my lovely locks, okay? This is weave. Here's the thing. This is why they're mad, okay? This is why they're mad. You see this whole Klansman right here. Please pay attention. There is a Klansman wearing locks upon his head. Now, if you hate Black people, then you should also hate our culture, but you don't. You love it. And that's why you're mad, okay? That's one of the many reasons these people hate us, because they want to be so much like us. I believe, in fact, they want to literally be us. What is the hell is a Klansman doing with the locks? Nuts. Okay? Yeah, that's why you're mad, troll. Okay, that's why you're mad. Good news is I'm not. I love it when I piss the trolls off. I absolutely love it. Because what can they do about it besides nothing but complain and cry and whine? Okay, that's it. Now let's continue. So also, I found the step cousin. Now this is a young white man. But he actually knows the woman who was found hanging, and he did a video about that. So we're going to talk about it in just a second. But before we do, let's go to this Instagram report. Because this young lady said it was only a few news outlets talking about it. As we know how it goes. And my thing is, with all of these other things we've seen going on, all of these other deaths and accidental drownings and all that, they really want us to think nothing happened to No. Please. Okay, and then you have these minions like the troll who want to get up here and say we're lying, or they want to act like nothing to see here. How can you excuse away one incident when there's 10 more incidents happening at the same time? And that's just the ones we found out about, mind you. Those are just the ones we found out about. But wait till we talk about this young lady who was lured by her Karen fake friends, and they attacked her.
Black woman was found hanging from a tree in someone's backyard yesterday, August 3rd, in Jackson, Mississippi. But you want us to think that nothing nefarious happened to Nolan Wells? And wait. You're probably going to rule this a suicide, right, Mississippi? There are only 5 news outlets carrying this story, and they would be the Clarion Ledger, Mississippi Free Press, Mississippi Today, WAPT, and WLBT, all local Mississippi outlets. The story also has an update. Her name was Tasia Fortune, and she was 29 years old. Hinds County coroner has identified Tasia Fortune as the woman found hanging from a tree behind a vacant home in West Jackson earlier this week. Jackson police declined to release details that might explain how Fortune, a 29-year-old Black woman, ended up in the manner she was discovered on Monday that evoked memories of the South's history of lynching. The coroner's office said her family has been notified. Her body was sent to the Mississippi State Medical Examiner's office for an autopsy. LaTony Fortune told Mississippi Today on Wednesday that she last saw her sister last month when she returned to Kentucky to visit family. She just comes back to Kentucky and visit us, or we'll go to Jackson and visit her, she said. It's unclear how long Tasia Fortune was behind the vacant house before neighbors spotted her and summoned police to the 500 block road of Remembrance. A Black woman named Tasia Fortune, age 29, was found hanging in the backyard of someone's vacant home in Jackson, Mississippi. Don't you dare let them tell you that this was death by suicide. This was a lynching and a murder. And we're going to find out what happened. A Black woman.
Here's my thing. Here's my thing. How are they doing this? Like, whose backyard was it? And how is it that they do these things outside and no one seems to see anything? Don't you all find that strange? And let me just bring up something else that happened a few years ago, more than a few years ago. This is the young lady right here, lovely young lady. That is so sad. 29 years old. Prayers and condolences to her family. And I also heard that she had children. Very sad. Very sad indeed. But I'm just wondering, how do they do these things outside and no one sees anything? Also, I was thinking about maybe 10 years ago, probably somewhere between 2016 to 2018 on Facebook. Do you all remember? Put a 1 in the chat if you do. There was a video on Facebook. There was a light-skinned Black girl who looked to be maybe 18 to 20 years old. And she had a rope around her neck, and there was 2 white guys. They looked young, like maybe 19, no older than maybe 19, 18 to 25. And they were hoisting her up on the rope. And there was a huge Confederate flag hanging on their wall. And you could tell that the young lady had urinated on herself. Now, that being said, after that video was scrubbed from the internet, and we all had questions, they said, okay, the reports came out saying that it was a prank. Who pranks somebody like that? Who puts a rope around someone's neck and hoists them? I mean, you could see the way they were pulling. How many of you remember that? Nobody remembers that video? I wish I had downloaded it back then. I wish I had, you all remember. And then days later, they found a Black woman in a tree somewhere in that same area. But they said that was a joke. Okay. And then they tried to say, oh, that was just what did they call it? They said that was a prank. And then they had some excuse and said that it was a corn star. That's what they said. And they said the lady's name, but that corn star let us know that it wasn't her, because she went on Twitter back then, and she said that was absolutely not her. Didn't even look like the same person. Okay. And nobody ever got any consequences. And when they did that, a video that we all saw with our eyes, and they lied and said it was a joke, a prank, that's when I knew these devils can kill us and get away with it anytime they feel like it. Okay? Anytime they feel like it. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, if y'all don't start getting on code, and if y'all don't start being more spiritual and raising your vibrational frequencies, because this is spiritual warfare, whether you know it or not. That's exactly what this is. This is spiritual warfare. Okay. The devils are attacking the children of the Most High. And y'all think I'm joking? Because I'm absolutely not. Okay. That's what's going on here. Please pay attention. These are the children of the fallen angels, the Nephilim. And that's not a joke. And if you don't believe me, read the book of Enoch. That's exactly who these minions are. These MAGA types, these Confederates, that's what they are. They're not of God. And there is no God in them. Okay. And when they talk about God, they're not talking about the same God that we are. Please pay attention. That's a fact. Now, let's continue, because there's another couple of devils. Okay. 3 of them. And they lured this poor Black girl. I don't know when some of our people are going to learn. They lured her to their house, to one of them's home, and she was supposedly intoxicated. They gave her something to drink, and they probably even put something in it. But at the end of the day, they attacked her. That's what they did. They attacked her. Now, I'm not going to show that video because of the violence. But what I will do is let you hear the audio, and I'll show you some still shots.
That ass, wrong slow. What is you finna do?
Oh my God, Abraham.
You try to leave this house, bitch, and I'm gonna drag you by your fucking hair, bitch. Audrey, talk all that shit that you was talking over the phone. Talk it now! Talk it now! Fuck! Bitch, shut up. Shut the fuck up. I want her to. Bitch, shut your mouth. Shut up.
You all see that? It's a darn shame. Somebody said Willie D showed it earlier. I know he did. I didn't see his video, but I saw he had it posted. But he showed the video. Well, maybe he can get away with it. I'm not taking any chances with ScrewTube. Okay, because everybody can't get away with the same things. That's just how that goes. All right. So, but yeah, I find it also interesting. Now here's one of the screenshots right here, and I had put the emoji on there because she's covering her with a blanket, and then they started beating her. This is just these are nobody's children but Satan's. I don't care what anybody says. I'm convinced. Absolutely convinced. You can't really see much on this one. It's just them basically hovering over her. Lights up, everyone, please like and share. Now she came and spoke out after this, right? After this all happened, she came out and spoke about it. So let's get into that because I didn't even read what she said. Here's the video, or here's the screenshot of the one of them jumping on top of her. I mean, who treats a person like that? Only an animal, not a human being. That too. Look at her. Up in the air. She literally jumped on her like at least 2 or 3 times. Just sick. Friends like that, you sure don't need enemies. And so obviously they were upset with her about talking trash and then pretended that everything was cool and then invited her over. Apparently, that's what it sounds like. So now I'm going to go to the video of the young man that said that she's his step cousin. Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. Not this young lady, but the lady who was found hanging. Tanisha.
I'm probably not going to get any views on this, but I don't care. This is not my normal content, but my step cousin needs justice. That black woman that was found hanged, I'm kind of worried about getting this video taken down, but that black woman that was found deceased on Remembrance Road was my step cousin Tasia. I don't think that they've officially confirmed it yet, but I talked to her mama today and they pretty much have told her that it was her. They just had to officially confirm it. But this was not this was murder. I need anyone who wants justice for anyone to speak up about this, please. I am worried to death that her mama is never going to get the closure that she deserves. This is disgusting and nobody deserves that. I had to take a break to compose myself, but Tasia, she needs justice. I need everyone that is willing to talk about this. This is so sick. From what I know, Tasia is not the only one this has happened to. I think that the police told her mama this was the 3rd incident. Something is going on in Jackson, Mississippi. Everyone needs to talk about this. Something is going on in Jackson, Mississippi. Also, another thing that I'm just upset, so I'm having trouble with my words. But another thing that I wanted to mention is be careful if you look anything up related to this, because allegedly, well, not really allegedly, because her mom's seen it, there is a gory video, or not video, but picture, a gory picture of her deceased. And someone showed it to her mama, and she said that, yeah, you could tell it was her, even though they had covered her face, I think. But everything else was visible, so please be cautious when looking up anything about this case.
Now that is a darn shame. That is a darn shame. So let's go to the young lady's response. And the young lady who was attacked by these frenemies. Her name is Aubrey Masaryk or Masaryk. So she says, "Hey everyone, I'm Aubrey. I'm the girl who got beat and I'm doing okay. Now I didn't get rushed to the hospital after the incident, or I did get rushed to the hospital after the incident with a blood alcohol level of 3 times the legal limit. Police in fact did show up to the apartments, I guess when I got stable in the hospital. The nurses said I went to Rayleigh's neighbor at her apartment and knocked, and the neighbors called the ambulance. I had a swollen eye, I had a scrape on my face, I had a goose egg on my side, on the side of my head, and I had rug marks on my waist from when they dragged me upstairs. I do have epilepsy, so that amount of alcohol could have been fatal, or I could have had a stroke." And they probably knew just that. Okay, they probably even knew it. She says, "I did have a seizure in the hospital from being hit in my head. I suffered mentally, physically, and emotionally that night. They know how I am on alcohol. They know my body don't do well with alcohol, which is why they waited for me to be completely intoxicated before they attacked me. But overall, I'm doing okay. A day after that incident, I did take a pregnancy test, which came up positive. I did, in fact, welcome a baby girl 2 weeks ago, and she has changed my life and the way I go about things. I no longer drink. My baby saved me from self-destruction, and I'm speaking to my counselor tomorrow to hopefully help me pursue charges, because they did almost take my life that day. I was completely almost unconscious." The nurses told my grandma. First of all, might pursue, they arrested that night. Why weren't they arrested that night or day, whatever it was? Why weren't they arrested then? And they had to call the ambulance, and the police arrived as well. So how come nobody went to jail? This is all so sickening. Like, I'm so sick and tired of this stuff. At the end of the day, this is really ridiculous. And it seems like some of these black folks just let these people get away with it. They just go too easy on them, because they should have been arrested that day. Period. Period. Anyway, let me calm down. Okay, so now I want you all to listen to what Don Lemon, he was talking to Janetta Bradley, the lady who did the audio. She is still receiving threats, but I want you to hear what these wanton supremacists, low down, dirty, nefarious MAGA minions, i.e. Confederates, what they were saying about her on TikTok. It seems like they were on a TikTok live, or maybe it was something else, another platform, but it looked to be a TikTok live, in my opinion.
They used to do, they used to like put a hot coal in somebody's mouth or something like that, you know.
Oh,
I'm talking medieval on these motherfuckers.
What do you think?
I think, honestly, and like honest, to be bold enough to say something like that on a public platform, I don't put nothing past any of them. And for her to even be on the call, like, this is her and her people, there's no telling what, if they're on a public platform saying these things, there's no telling what they're saying behind the scenes. And that's the part that's concerning. That's the part that it almost trips me out that it's even allowed on social media. And then when we say something in return, we haven't met her with any type of hate. We haven't been disrespectful. We've responded with facts. We've corrected misinformation. My wife has made sure to lead with respect and class, and to just show who we really are. We're still being met with the latter. And when we respond, we're shut down. If we try to report it, the reports are met with like declination by these social media platforms. And all of it is just truly concerning. Like, all of it is disheartening. I have no words.
First of all, I don't know why her or her wife is trying to explain anything to them. I wish I would. Okay, I wish I would try to explain myself to a demon. That's what I won't do. And they're not going to listen anyway, because the fact of the matter is they don't care what you have to say. Okay, they don't like you because you're black. And even more because you decipher that audio. Okay, because she cleaned up that audio and everybody's talking about it. And now we all know what was actually said. And that's why they're upset. So they don't want to hear what she has to say. And I wouldn't be even trying to give them the pleasure of thinking that they were worthy of me giving them an explanation. Okay, that's what I wouldn't do. Absolutely not. Like, sub, everyone, please like and share. Now we need to talk about Darion Taylor, the young black man who was found dead in Ashburn, Georgia. Okay, you all asked me to report on it because I had not even heard about this case. And let me tell you something. I want you all to pay attention because all of these cases that we've been talking about, the past and the present, I have reported on every last one of these stories. Now, I said all that to say this. This is what I have always done. This is what I do. Okay, I always report these stories and I've always covered these stories because it is an atrocity every time one of them happens. Now, there's some people who report these things where they're trending just to make money, clicks, and views. And those will be people like Brandon Tatum. Okay, those will be people like him, grifters, who just want to get a piece of the pie. Any other time, they don't have anything to say about the things that go on with black folk. Hold on, I forgot to turn the audio. Hold on.
Thank you so much for joining us this evening at 11. I'm Ashanti Drake. Well, we now know the identity of the male who drowned at Lake Blackshear earlier this afternoon. Officials have identified this victim as 19-year-old Darion Taylor of Ashburn. First responders and surrounding agencies rushed to the scene near the floating dock just after 3 on Saturday. The Sumter County dive team recovered Taylor's body around 4:20 p.m. Bystanders attempted to rescue Taylor after he jumped into the water and failed to resurface, but they were unable to locate him. The Crisp County Sheriff's Office has extended heartfelt condolences to the family and thanked all responding agencies for their swift assistance.
Public safety officials here in Crisp County are on the scene in Lake Blackshear where we are working a possible drowning. The subject went in about 3 o'clock this afternoon and has not been seen since. We have all available public safety from Crisp County and surrounding counties here with the Department of Natural Resources working this scene now.
Now, this is still an ongoing investigation, and you can find the latest details as they are released on our WALB News app.
Pretty sparse details, if you ask me. Hold on, let's go to this next report, though. Because on this next one, it looks like the sheriff was sitting at his desk talking, and I haven't watched it, but I just want to see, I just really want to see what kind of energy he's given. I think I already know, I'm pretty sure I do, but I just would like to see it.
Choose any food item from the Paddock Lounge menu and get a $10 game card for exciting arcade.
Well, Crisp County Sheriff Billy Hancock is addressing misinformation regarding the investigation into the drowning of a 19-year-old man at Lake Blackshear over the weekend. Now, WALB News 10's Brittany Blake hears from the sheriff about where that investigation stands now.
But this was not a foul play incident. This was an unfortunate drowning, and they happen all the time.
Crisp County Sheriff Billy Hancock says nearly 30.
He said, and they happen all the time. Yeah, I'm sure they do. What happens all the time is black people get lynched in this country, specifically in Mississippi. Okay, specifically in Mississippi. Okay, and then next you have Alabama, Texas, and Georgia. Okay, that's how that goes. So he can miss us with it. They happen all the time. Yeah, they do. They happen so frequently because they're lynchings. They're not really drownings.
First responders arrived at Lake Blackshear Saturday, August 1st, within minutes of the call that came in at 3:03 that afternoon. He says that the Sumter County dive team was able to use AI sonar that ultimately led to the recovery of 19-year-old Darion Taylor. Even after no visible signs of injury, according to the sheriff, there is still a call for eyewitnesses.
We want the individuals that saw it from the very beginning. At this point, we have found nobody that saw anybody pushed, any towels or any shoes left on the dock. We have determined that the two boys were jumping together. One, unfortunately, was not as experienced as the other one.
Since the investigation began, there has been a lot of social media accusations and claims against those involved in the investigation, from the sheriff's office to witnesses.
I understand the anger. I get it, but I want it funneled in the right way.
You can just tell he's a good old boy. Listen to him. Look at him. You can tell. Okay, Southern Fried Justice. That's what they issue out down there. Please pay attention. Ashburn, Georgia.
You know, I've been here a long time. They can say what they want to about me, and they can make all the accusations they want to. At the end of the day, I know where I stand, and I know what we've done. I know what this agency has done. I'm proud of this agency.
Sheriff Hancock says that his office remains committed to transparency while respecting the integrity of this investigation. He says once the investigation is complete, that all of the records will be available through the Georgia Open Records process for anyone who wants to obtain.
Miss me with it. Here's the thing. There isn't an investigation. The man just sat there and said there's nothing to see here. That's what he said. Did he not? Didn't he say this is just an unfortunate accident? They happen all the time. How is he saying that if he's still doing investigation? If you're investigating, that means you're still looking for clues. You're still looking for evidence. You're still trying to put the pieces of the puzzle together. You're trying to solve the crime. If there was a crime, you're trying to figure out if there actually was. He's not trying to figure out a damn thing. He literally just told us that the investigation is over. Okay? If you could sit there on TV and say, nothing to see here, no evidence of foul play, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? I'm sick of these people, period. Now, with that all being said, let's talk about this. Hold on, before we get into it, let's go to this barber, because he came out still trying to talk about Don Lemon. And I find it interesting because when I was reading the comments, there were a few Black people agreeing with him. And I said, are they crazy? Are they cool? Because I think they were maybe, I don't know. Maybe they don't like Don because he's LGBTQ. I don't know. But at the end of the day, he was sitting there talking about Don having a white husband. Who cares? Don having a white husband, and then what? I've not seen Don sit up there and say the foolish things that he was saying. Okay? That's what I haven't seen. I don't know who paid him or who sent him, but I absolutely believe someone did.
The Black people that's been attacking me, y'all are going to attack me, and Don is married to a white man. He's white, which means what? Don spends his money on a white person. Every time Don buys a rose for Valentine, it's for a white person.
You know what I find interesting? Married to, but I want to know what the hell that has to do with him and what the foolishness that he said, those lies that he told. Even as Black people are still being lynched down there in Mississippi right now, another
My most high God, please wrap your arms already around the Nolan Wells family. Wrap your arms around his parents, but I want you to go and hold his mother. Hold her tight, right?
Hold on, I'm trying to see something. Let me see. Is it still buffering, you all? Is it still buffering? Somebody let me know. If it is, can you all see me? Is it still buffering? It's not buffering now. Okay, so let's just try it again, honey. Let's just try it again. Okay, now, as I was saying, I find it all very interesting. Listen, I find it all very interesting. No, it's clear now. Okay, good. Okay, so hopefully it'll stay clear. But what I was saying was I find it interesting that all of a sudden now people are talking about an altercation that they know about and nobody said anything when all of this stuff was going on in the first place. That's very interesting. And even his friends, they're out here acting like they're going to go out here and look on Horn Island. But the funny thing is, wasn't Warren just at Horn Island with Tap Dancing Tatum? Okay, make that make sense. But hold on, I want to go to these videos real quick. You all check these out.
That's not including the 3 videos that they took down. So let's talk about what I talked about in this. Go back and watch the video I posted yesterday for more details. The party that night was allegedly at this girl's house that I will call Ava D. Right here in the yellow is where the party was at. You could almost perfectly plot out every dock that they stopped at on this little trip of theirs before they went to the boat dock. I also discovered that Lieutenant Patrick Carone, the person who first wrote up that very first report after Nolan's mom called in, someone that he is related to apparently married into Ava D's family, allegedly. But like I said in my last video, I show my work. I also discovered that Warren's mother apparently had a birthday party just weeks before Nolan's disappearance that was attended not only by the D family, but the mayor of Ocean Springs. Do y'all remember the girl whose name was given to the police and they went and they questioned her and she said that she was on a completely different island and hadn't seen Nolan in a year? Well, I found a picture of her from last 4th of July. I'm not going to tell you which one of these girls is her, but I bring up this picture from last 4th of July because does anybody recognize something here? Well, I don't know about you guys, but that looks like the same swimsuit to me and the same hair color. Not necessarily the same person. I'm not saying that 2 people can't own the same swimsuit, but that's a bit coincidental for me. She also appears to be wearing the same tiny gold necklace. What this means, I don't know, but I think Crump's team needs to find her. And I spent hours the other day going through these people's pages, trying to get a feel for the social connection. I can tell you with certainty that Katie is not a part of this crowd. Her family is not affluent. And not only that, it seems like her mother is going through something very bad health-wise. I'm not going to get into details on that. She is visibly sick or visibly recovering. And let's not forget that these people are all doctors. I also want to say, while I was going through all of these people's pages, I went through like 30 kids' pictures. There is not a single video, not a single picture of Nolan with any of these kids. Y'all are best friends, y'all are buddies, but there's not a single picture of them. And to be clear, I'm definitely rattling some cages because they are clearly watching my page because yesterday, after I posted the video, suddenly several of the matriarchs of these families didn't make their friends list public anymore. Very interesting.
You guys.
That is interesting. And she's a very detailed researcher. Okay. I love it. She went through 30 of their pages. Now that took some time. Okay. But for her to notice the little details, and see, that's what I always tell you guys. You have to pay attention to detail because that's always where the devil is. Please pay attention. Now, this lady is talking about Trayston here. Let's get into it.
Sunday, we were on the water from 9:45 to 11:50, 12 o'clock era.
Okay, 9:45 to 11:50 era. So that's 2 hours, he's saying, basically, that they were on the water searching, and they've already told us it takes, 52 minutes to get out to Horn Island?
Mm-hmm.
So what, you're telling me you searched for him for an hour? Let's continue.
While we were on the water, we talked to a rescue guy, and he told us to get off the water and said that they kind of had the island and the water under control. That's the professionals, man.
That's the
They told
professionals,
us to get on
man.
social media.
Told them to get off the water,
Information we
is
can.
what he's
By that time,
claiming.
we had already talked to a good amount of people.
But watch.
So it just made sense. So we went back in and we concluded our search and started to search all socials and started sharing everything we could and try to get a hold of anybody that could have talked to Nolan, that Nolan possibly would have reached out to.
How can he
They got on their socials and started sharing and sharing. They took down their socials on July the 6th or 7th after Nolan was discovered deceased. But now they were sharing stuff on social media. Yeah, right.
reach out to anybody when y'all had his fucking phones? What I want to know. I don't know about you guys, but most people, if they don't have their phone, they're kind of screwed. Who knows anybody's phone number anymore? I digress.
And that led into the night. It led all night long. I didn't sleep at all Sunday. Monday, I was up at 5 a.m. I was putting fuel.
These people infuriate me. This is such freaking hogwash, man. That is total fucking bullshit. And if you're not aware, let me just remind you that when Warren was telling his story earlier, His story didn't include this sucker right here being on the boat searching. He said Brooks, he said Jax, he said Ricky, he said his mom, and he said his stepdad. He never mentioned this character.
She called him a character. That's exactly what he is. Okay, of the worst kind. Uncle Ruckus.
What I wanted to talk about was this. All of them brothers that keep on ending up hanging from somewhere they ain't got no business under very unusual circumstances. That means we got to switch it up. That means don't go nowhere by yourself. Always have somebody meeting you here, there, walking you to your job. Just stay in pairs if that's what you got to do. Because it ain't going to stop happening if you keep getting caught slipping in areas where somebody want to string you up. Just because we keep on talking about it and putting it in the news don't mean that they going to stop. Somebody might have an addiction, right? But if you keep doing the same thing, expecting something to be different, that's a you problem. I'm just saying. Ain't no more. Look here. Stay in twos. It's the best thing to do. And spend most of your time on FaceTime if you ain't got a partner or a pair or somebody to be with you. Just be on FaceTime. Find somebody who ain't doing shit and stay on the phone with them. I mean, I don't know. But you want to have some eyewitness with you or having access to seeing you at all times so that, I mean, who the fuck knows what's going to happen and when something's going to happen. Right? It's the same kind of theory when we be watching those scary movies. Like, why would you run past the running vehicle to go hide in the barn? And you yelling at the TV. Man, what's wrong with you? Don't stop at the... Or if somebody's talking to you, get on the phone immediately. Somebody pull up on you, get on the phone immediately. Something strange is finna happen, get on the phone immediately. Like, don't try and reason with somebody. You don't know who this person is. I don't care if they walking up with a smile. Have a pleasant conversation with you. Just getting in your space or your bubble. Just get on the phone if you're by yourself. Period. Because we don't know how somebody is getting hold of these boys or men. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm going to tell you how. It's the police. It's the police. That's point blank serious. I think it's the police. Ever since I had that dream in 2020 and then it came true and that man was found hanging just like I said, and in the dream it was the police, not in their uniforms, in plain clothes and plain vehicles. Yeah, that's exactly what I think. And let's not forget that I showed you a video a few weeks ago of an elder who said the same thing. Let's not forget, down there in Mississippi, when those 3 civil rights workers came up dead, the police were involved. So that's what I think it is. The police. That's how they're getting away with it. That's how they're getting away with it. I wonder if they're telling these people they're under arrest. I wonder if they're threatening them that they're under arrest. Plainclothes cops, right? That could be a way for them to be doing that to these people. Let's not forget that Cal Basinga, who I also reported on a few months ago, Cal Basinga had just gotten into an altercation with an officer days before, had a verbal altercation. I showed you all the video. And then he turns up dead hanging in a tree. Okay, please pay attention. Yeah, that's exactly who I think it is.
It's like playing chess. You want to protect your peace at all times. Don't push it out there unless it already got protection. I mean, I don't know. I don't know no other way to say it, but it started to bother me, and because I'm having the same questions everybody's having. Like, man, how? How is they getting them? I don't know, but that's why we need somebody, a second pair of eyes, so somebody can tell us how this shit is going down at all times. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. That's just my take on the situation, but these is my thoughts. Y'all can have them. Be good to each other.
With that all being said, I'm going to have to edit this video, so there's not going to be a chat because all the F-bombs that these people are dropping, I clearly need to start listening to the full length of these videos before I play them. Now, with that all being said, you all heard it. Now, there was a troll in the chat by the name of Michael Burleson When I came back, he said, stay gone. Ha! So here's the thing. If he didn't want to watch and wanted me to stay gone, why was he right back in the chat as soon as I came back? I want you all to pay attention. Let me tell you all something about the queen. Now, those of you who've been following me from 2020, you all know that the trolls, I'm the black woman that they love to hate. You know what these trolls tell me? Let me just tell you all. Remember that officer, he said he was a retired officer for 28 years, said his name was Tony Piazza, and he was harassing and stalking me to the points that I had to call the FBI and had to get them to get his IP address. Okay, that's what I do for trolls. You start talking crazy and making threats. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. But hold on. Do you all remember that? Put a 1 in the chat if you all remember how that man stalked me, harassed me relentlessly for at least a year. He would email me acting as though I still have the videos from where I would go in on him on the lives. So you all remember. So he would, email me every day using different names, trying to pretend he was different people. One time he tried to pretend he was a black man. And then he was trying to find out. See, here's what attracted him to me, what put me on his radar. And I want you all to pay attention because I believe there's a list somewhere with people's names on it, revolutionary-minded people. And I think my name's absolutely on that list. Okay, I'm pretty sure it is. Now, with that all being said, here's the thing. He was trying to find out who I was because of my last name. The first time he reached out to me, he sent me, I was on Fly Nubian Queen. Okay, I was on Fly Nubian Queen at the time. I had not been on YouTube for longer than 5 months before I caught his attention. Now, he sent me an email using the name Tyrell Harris. I immediately knew from his talking points that it was not a black person. His name was not Tyrell Harris. And I figured that he came up with the name Tyrell Harris because of T.I., whose name is Clifford Harris, trying to sound black. And so I knew it was a white person who was clearly a MAGA type. So he emails me and he says, hey, how are you doing? He said, I just want to send you my condolences for your loss. And I said, my loss for what? What are you even talking about? He said, Tupac Shakur, it's the anniversary of his death. And he was like, isn't that your cousin? That's when I knew. This mother sucker wants to know if I'm related to people like Afeni Shakur, Asada Shakur, okay, Matulu Shakur. I knew that's what he was getting at because that's what they always want to know about the queen. So with that all being said, I simply told him, I didn't tell him yes or I didn't tell him no. I told him, I said, just because my last name is Shakur, you think everybody with the last name Shakur, we're all related? Is that what you think? So then he said, well, you don't have to be smart about it. And then he said, I'm a black person just like you. Why don't you talk to a black person like that? Next clue to let me know he wasn't black, because black people don't announce that we're black. That's what we never do. Whenever you see someone on social media saying, I'm black, and even I don't agree, they're never black. That's what we don't do, ever, okay? Unless you're someone like Tap Dancing Tatum, maybe he would, I don't know. But normal black people just don't do that. So then after I just happened to click on something, I think I was trying to click on to see what his email address was so I could block him. When I clicked on it, I saw that he had in fact CC'd the producers of Fly Nubian Queen. So then I'm thinking, what is he CCing them for? But he was CCing them with his response because he wanted to let them know that I went in on a black person. Because I probably said some more smart stuff to him. I don't remember what it was, but I knew he wasn't black and he was trying to be nosy and trying to get up at my business. So anyway, he CC'd it to the producer of Fly Nubian Queen, like he's going to get me kicked off the show. Okay? So then when I started covering the Breonna Taylor story very heavily, and you all know that I was the only one who had the grand jury audio, and don't ask me how I got it, but you all know I had it, still do. But that being said, and I also brought one of the people who was working with the family's attorney on the show twice and interviewed them. So this dude tells me that he's going to let the attorney general, okay, Daniel Cameron, and y'all know what I used to call him back then on live. He said that he sent him my video to let him know what I was saying about it. And I'm like, I don't care. Okay, I don't care. Then he tells me, he said, you're actually probably the smartest black woman that I've ever listened to. Too bad you use your intelligence for bad. Yeah, because I call out racism. I see, that's why they don't like me. Let me just tell you all something. The problem with these MAGA minions when it comes to the queen is this. There are other people who may talk like I talk. They may say some of the same things. We have a parrot that likes to steal my talking points, try to use them and sound like me. But the bottom line is the difference is I have an air of passion when I speak because I'm speaking from the heart. The truth is coming out. That's what comes out when I'm speaking. I'm not sitting up here, just talking and giving points just to make money on YouTube. Because you all remember, for a long time, I wasn't even monetized on YouTube. And I didn't even try to get monetized for a long time until somebody said, Queen, you should be getting paid for your videos. But I felt like if you're getting paid, then they can try to hamper you or they can try to censor you and all of those things. That's why I never had applied for it. Okay, until quite some time after. But the bottom line is, these devils, they follow me wherever I go. They want to harass me. They want to make threats and all of that. Remember that time they put in one of them, I think it was that same dude, put in the comment section, "You effing jigger. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill all you jiggers." Y'all remember that? I mean, the thing they have said is crazy. But if they think that I fear them, I don't. And if they think that I'm concerned or worried or concerned about anything that they say or do, I don't. And none of us should, because at the end of the day, they're talking all of that slick stuff when they're online. But when they're by themselves, they're not going to say anything. They always want to come with groups, okay, and try to attack Black people. And also, you see all of the stuff that's going on right now. We've always had these hangings. We've always had these supposed accidental drownings and all this nefarious stuff. But the bottom line is, now that Trump's in office and doing all of these things, yeah, now he's letting all of these things just be so blatant and they feel emboldened. I mean, look at Jake Lang talking about having a jigger walk. Yeah, that's what he said. But people want to act like we are the ones that are the problem because we're speaking out against racism. And I'm going to tell you another reason they don't like the Queen, because they know, and I've told you all this, and they listen. They listen to the things we say, the conversations we have. You know that I predict stuff. Excuse me, I predict things. They got mad when I made that prediction about Trump in 2020. They were all sending me messages just being so hateful and mad or whatever, saying I'm wishing this on him. No, I have prophetic dreams, and that's just what it is. And another thing is the fact that I know exactly what they're up to. I know what the devils are up to, just like with the pandemic and all the other things that I've said. And that's another thing they don't like. Okay? They don't like it. And when you're in spiritual warfare with these demons, because that's what they are, low vibrational, bottom feeders, you have to be spiritually in tune and you have to raise your levels of consciousness. And that's what I keep telling you all. And with that all being said, this is why we absolutely, and I have said this before and not done it, but I promise you, we're going to be back on the spiritual channel next week. Okay, we're going to be back on the spiritual channel next week, because all of these things that are happening is purposefully, they're being used to purposefully lower our vibrations. And I'm going to tell you why. Because we're living right now in the age of Aquarius. And that's why these things are coming to light. That is why Nolan's death has shown a light on Ocean Springs. Many of us probably had never even heard of Ocean Springs until Nolan's passing. And now we found out all of these nefarious things that are happening down there that's going on. Okay. And there's some more things that I know that's going on too. Okay. I figured it out today when I was doing my deep dive. But also, like I told you, I confirmed it with the whistleblower. And I may just call him tomorrow while I'm talking about it. Mr. Elevation says there's only one queen of receipts. Thank you, beloved. I appreciate you. I really do. Peace, love, and blessings. Thank you for your insights. Thank you for your kind words and your contribution. Nella said, we got a battle, Queen family. Exactly. We really do. And it's a battle to be fought in the spiritual realm. Okay? That's where we have to fight them. You have to put on the whole armor of God when you're battling Satan, because that's who these people are. They are the descendants of Nephilim. And that is a fact. Okay? That is a fact. Now, with that all being said, beloved, thank you for your insight into the topic and your contribution to the channel. I appreciate you. Peace, love, and blessings. Now, back to what I was saying, right? Don't you all find it so interesting? And let me pull up this video of this elder speaking, this elder white man. What he said is absolutely true. But he was telling the story about this lady I never heard of. I'm going to have to look her up. But the bottom line is, now they're claiming they were out there looking for Nolan, tracing really, and then saying that he was out there and the Coast Guard or the police told them to leave. Why would they tell them to leave? They didn't tell Nolan's father and the coach to leave. I would think that they want all the help they can get. I don't believe they were ever out there. Okay? believe they were ever out there. These are the same people that shut down their social media. These are the same people that went to Ava's house and partied. They went to Ava's house and partied. And I'm pretty sure, and in my opinion, this is all alleged, I can't substantiate it, but I think at the time they were partying at Ava's house, they absolutely knew, in my opinion, that Nolan was not coming back. Okay? So we're supposed to think they were concerned that they're out there looking. Please, miss me with it. Miss me with it. So anyway, I'm going to conclude this broadcast. Darrell, beloved, I have to delete your comments. When you use those type of words, you have to use you have to misspell them. If you want to call it, it's raccoon. And you all be careful of what you put in the chat. Don't use any racially inflammatory words. Okay, anything about any other races or whatever. That goes for everybody, no matter your race or ethnic group. I don't allow that on the channel. Buckhorst says spiritual channel. Again, I love it. Yes, the spiritual channel is coming right back. Okay, because we definitely need it. Thank you for your contribution, beloved. I appreciate you. Peace, love, and blessings. E. Warrell, thank you for your super sticker donation, beloved. I appreciate you. Peace, love, and blessings. Okay, so listen, I'm going to see you all in the morning. Jonathan, thank you for your contribution, beloved. I appreciate you. Peace, love, and blessings. Okay, so listen. They having a prayer on Nolan's birthday on the 19th. Let me tell you all something. I'm glad you brought that up. I was going to talk about that tomorrow, but let's talk about it right now. So Nolan's birthday is August the 19th. Do you all know what else August the 19th is? August the 19th, Nolan would have turned 19 years old. His birthday's August the 19th. He would have turned 19. And guess what else is happening on August the 19th? Anybody want to venture to guess? Somebody put it in the chat, because I know you all should know. I know you all should know. Let me see. We're going back to the that's right. Carmelo Anthony's going to court. Do you all think that's a coincidence? Do you all think that's a coincidence? Carmelo goes back to court on the 19th. I'm going to be covering it as per usual. But Nolan's birthday is the 19th, and he would have been 19, and they're having some sort of celebration or a walk or something for him. Okay? The two black young men that we've been covering for months, at least Carmelo was for months. It's been a month for Nolan. But don't y'all find that interesting? That's called synchronicity. That's not a coincidence. I don't believe in coincidences. And let me tell you something. In numerology, which I study, 19 represents the powerful bridge between new beginnings and completion, because you have the 1 and the 9. And we'll get further into that on the spiritual channel on next week. Okay? With that all being said, it also symbolizes self-determination, self-reliance, and karmic lessons. I want y'all to pay attention, because the devils are going to pay. The devils are going to pay, whether they pay by going to jail or whether they're haunted every night in their dreams. They're going to pay. Look at George Zimmerman, homeless, mental health issues, broke. Look at it. Look at the cop. I forget his name. That officer who shot and killed Sonia Massey. I told you all he had demons. And so Sonia Massey, she didn't have mental health issues. She had spiritual gifts, and she could see his demons. That's why she rebuked him in the name of Jesus. And that triggered that demon, because we all know, those of you who follow the spiritual channel, because we've talked about this, and I even had someone that I interviewed on the spiritual channel who had been harassed by demons, if you all remember that. Okay, if you all remember that. And another person I had on there who someone had put witchcraft on them, and I had to tell them what to do to get rid of it. So at the end of the day, Sonia Massey could see his demons. She rebuked him, and demons react very violently, hostile, and aggressively. Okay, when someone says a scripture, specifically when you call the name, you utter the name of Jesus. That really drives him into a frenzy. And that's why he took her life, as far as I'm concerned. And now the same demons that he had within him are now causing him sickness, because that's what demons do. You see, demons cause and create sickness. And many people don't know that, but look it up. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to conclude the broadcast. Listen, I love you all to life. I want to thank you all for staying. Oh, hold on. I got one more video. I almost forgot. Hold on. Let's go to this last video, and then I'm out of here. Okay, and I'll be right back up and at it tomorrow.
If you have one drop of black blood in your veins, then you're black, no matter what you look like. That's the infamous one-drop rule that the Supreme Court of the United States formalized in 1896 into law. That law, the one-drop rule, infested the trial of Alice Jones Rhinelander in 1925. She was accused of pretending or misleading everyone that she was white. Well, she'd been raised as white. Everybody believed that she was white. But the one-drop rule applied to her. She totally admitted that she had one drop. Her father was half Caribbean and had very dark skin. But it wasn't enough. But that's the law that Alice Jones had to deal with. Incidentally, nobody's ever done the reverse of the one-drop rule. That is, if you had one drop of white blood, that made you a white person, no matter what you look like. If you have one drop of black...
And see, here's the thing. He said that's never happened in the reverse. It could never happen in the reverse because our genes are dominance. Our genes are dominant. And so that's the reason for that. Dr. Francis Cress Wilson spoke about that very often. So that's why they know if you have one drop of black blood, you're black. And that's why that white guy who was going in about black men and he was giving dog whistles, telling the white men it's time for us to stand up and be white men again and all that stuff. He was saying, he's giving dog whistles. He said, we're tired of them taking our women. They're not taking your women. Your women are going to them. And if you have a problem with that, rather than being upset with the black men, maybe you should talk to your women. Treat them better or do whatever you have to do. I mean, because as you all notice, you don't see black men going around saying things like that because some black women date white men because they don't care. Because they feel like there's plenty of black women to go around, I'm sure. Only people who are insecure, they're the ones that would be upset by that. Okay, insecure people are the ones who would be upset by that. Rupert says, Neely Fuller told you they stay on code. Exactly. And let me tell you all something. Yeah, they absolutely do stay on code. And that's what I keep telling you all. That's what black people have to start doing. We have to start staying on code. Black people can be so fickle sometimes. You do one thing they don't like or say one thing they don't like, and now they want to throw you to the wolves. Okay? They don't do that. They could not like another white person, but if it all comes down to it, they're going to stick together. Okay? That's what they're going to do. Please pay attention. Said the Cito phone call was code. Absolutely. It absolutely was, in my opinion, beloved. Okay, so listen, I love you all to life. I hope you enjoy the rest of this evening. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. Until next time, I will talk to you all again soon. Peace. I was trying to look for you all's song. Oh, here it is. All right. Good night, everybody.
4th of July. Fireworks in the sky. But the truth's still buried underground. Royal Oak. Yeah. They told me, wave the flag while the chain still clank. Told me praise the names on the blood-soaked banks. Told me freedom was born in the room full of men who wrote liberty down while they own human skin. So fuck your founding fathers and the myths they made. I don't pledge to the lie, I don't kneel to the page. You can light up the sky, I remember the smoke from the fields, from the ships, from the necks in the rope. You call it independence, I call it selective. You call it patriotic, I call it protective. Of the story so fragile it cracks when questioned. Truth knocks once and they call it aggression. Yeah. Red for the blood they spill, white for the lies they told, blue for the bruises left on the bodies they sold. Don't ask me to celebrate what never included mine. I came with the receipts, I came to redraw the line. Fuck your founding fathers, I don't owe them praise. then told her smile through the pain. Fuck your founding fathers, let the fireworks cry. This ain't freedom for the people. If the truth still gotta hide, yeah, no justice, no peace, no lie gets crowned. We don't worship old ghosts when the roots scream loud. Fuck your founding fathers. On the 4th of July, I'm lighting up the truth while they light up the sky. They say, look how far we came. I say, look what it cost. Every courthouse got a shadow. Every victory got lost. They gave statues to the takers, made heroes out of thieves. Put their faces on the money while the hungry couldn't breathe. Don't lecture me on freedom from a stolen land stage. Don't quote old documents with blood on the page. Don't tell me be grateful for a seat at the table when my people built the room and got treated unstable. You can't buy me through the truth. You can dress it in stars, but the anthem still echoes like chains behind bars. I don't hate the people, I hate the disguise. I hate when the guilty get praised as the wise. Red for the blood they spilled, white for the lies they told, blue for the bruises left on the bodies they sold. Don't ask me to celebrate, but never including mine. I came with the receipts, I came to redraw the line. Fuck your founding fathers, I don't owe them praise. They built a nation on our backs, then told us smile through the pain. Fuck your founding fathers, let the fireworks cry. This ain't freedom for the people. If the truth still gotta hide, no justice, no peace, no lie gets crowned. We don't worship old ghosts when the roots scream loud. Fuck your founding fathers. On the 4th of July, I'm lighting up the truth while they light up the sky. Don't call it hate when the wound speaks back. Don't call it division when our name was fact. Don't call it progress while the system still bites. Don't call it freedom if we still gotta fight. I'm